Good morning, children. Today we are going to start the fourth chapter of history, the Mughal Empire. In this chapter, we are going to understand about the history of the Mughal rulers. You would have heard about the the names such as the Humayun, Babar, Humayun, Akbar, like all these names. Who were they? They were the rulers belonging to the Mughal dynasty. So, in this chapter, basically, we are going to understand about all these rulers who ruled in our country in the medieval period. So, let's start. Ruling as large territory as the Indian subcontinent with such a diversity of people and cultures was an extremely difficult task for any ruler to accomplish in the Middle Ages. Quite in contrast to their predecessors, the Mughals created an empire and accomplished what had hitherto seemed possible to only short periods of time. From the latter half of the 16th century, they expanded their kingdom from Agra and Delhi. Until the 17th century, they controlled nearly all of the subcontinent. They imposed structures of administration and ideas of governance that outlasted their rule, leaving a political legacy that succeeding rulers of the subcontinent could not ignore. Today, the Prime Minister of India addresses the nation on the Independence Day from the ramparts of the Red Fort in Delhi, the residence of the Mughal emperors in the historical time. So here it is said that ruling on such kind of huge subcontinent where variety of people or where the diversity of people and different cultures are already existing, as well as it is extremely difficult task for any ruler in the world to accomplish in the age which was we called as the middle age. So ruling on such kind of diverse culture and full of the people with the full of diversity was a difficult task. Quite in contrast to their predecessors, the Mughal created an empire and accomplished what has hitherto seemed possible for only short period of time. So here we can say that the Mughals have created the huge empire which was not possible by any of their predecessors. Predecessors means what? All the rulers, those who came before the Mughals. So the Mughal were the rulers who could make the empire in the subcontinent like India. From the latter half of the 16th century, they also expanded their kingdom right from Agra to Delhi, and till the 17th century, until the 17th century, they controlled nearly all of the subcontinent, each and every part of the subcontinent, and therefore here it is said that Mughals created empire and accomplished what had hitherto seemed possible for only for short period of time for their predecessors. Means their predecessors were not become so much of successful like the Mughals became to make the empire, and the Mughal empire was long lasting. So from the later half of the 16th century, they expanded their kingdom from Agra and Delhi, and until the 17th century, they controlled nearly all of the subcontinent. They imposed structures of administration. Means when they ruled, when they made the empire in the Indian subcontinent, they made different structures of administration. Before that, this kind of structures were not implemented by any of the rulers of the Indian subcontinent. They have made, but it was not much successful as the Mughal have made their administration. Administration ideas of the governance, and these ideas of the ideas and the administration was outlasted their rule, leaving a political legacy that succeeding rulers of the subcontinent could not ignore. So, this administration and the ideas of ruling over the Indian subcontinent could not we cannot ignore that with the help of these all legacies they were succeeding all other rulers. Today, the Prime Minister of the country uh, on 15th of August, you know very well, that means Independence Day. On the Independence Day, the Prime Minister of country addresses to the nation from the ramparts of the Red Fort. Do you know what was the Red Fort to the Mughals? This Red Fort of the was constructed by the Mughals, and it was the residence of the Mughal Empire or Mughal emperors. So here you can see the picture of the Red Fort. This Red Fort was constructed by the Mughal emperors, and today the Prime Minister of the country addresses the nation from the ramparts of the Red Fort. So this was all about in a kind of a summary about the Mughal emperors. Now we are going to understand basically that who were the Mughals, from where they came, what was their genealogy. All these things we are going to understand in this point. So, who were the Mughals? The Mughals were descendants of two great lineages of rulers. From their mother's side, they were descendants of Genghis Khan, to whom we also call as the Genghis Khan, who died in 1227. The Mongol ruler who ruled over parts of China and Central Asia. From their father's side, they were the successors of Timur, died in 1404. The ruler of Iran, Iraq, and modern day Turkey. However, the Mughals did not like to be called Mughal or Mongol. This was because Genghis Khan's memory was associated with the massacre of innumerable people. It was also linked with the Uzbeks, their Mongol competitors. On the other hand, the Mughals were proud of their Timurid ancestry, not least of all because their great ancestor had captured Delhi in 1398. They celebrated their genealogy pictorially, each ruler getting a picture made of Timur and himself. Take a look at figure 2, which is somewhat like a group photograph. So here it is a picture 2. What was special about this picture, that we will see in the later part. But before we are going to see that who were the Mughals basically. So the Mughals were belonging to the two descendants or two lineages of the rulers. From their mother's side, the Mughals were the descendants of the Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan came from the China, or he came from the Central Asia. He ruled over the China as well as Central Asia, and then he came in India. The Genghis Khan was a Mongol ruler. Who was he? Mongol ruler. From this word Mongol only, the Mughal, this word has been coined to address the Mughals. So from their from their father's side, they were the successors of the Timur. So from their mother's side, they were the descendants of mothers. From their mother's side, they were the descendants of the Genghis Khan, and from their father's side, they were the successor of the Timur. So the Timur was the ruler of Iran, Iraq, and modern day Turkey. So Timur was the ruler of Iran, Iraq, and modern day Turkey. So, however, the Mughal did not like to be called Mughal or Mongol. Actually, the Mughals were not liking to call themselves as the Mughal or Mongol. What was the reason behind that? This was because Genghis Khan's memory was completely associated with the massacre of innumerable people. That means when the Genghis Khan came in India and he started to rule on the subcontinent, before that the number of people were killed by his army. and therefore this was called as the massacre. Massacre means what? When the number or thousands of people are being killed by any ruler or any particular person, that is called as the massacre, जिसको हम हिंदी में हत्याकांड भी कहते हैं, या फिर ऐसे कुछ नाम से ही जानते हैं. तो इस तरह this was because Genghis Khan's memory was associated with the killing of the number of people in the Indian subcontinent. Therefore, the Mughals were not liking to call themselves as Mughal or Mongols, and it was these Mughals were also linked with the Uzbeks. Who were the Uzbeks? They were the Mongols' competitors. On the other hand, the Mughals were proud of their Timurid ancestry. They were very, very proud of their Timurid ancestry. Timurid ancestry means who? The Timur, who ruled over the Iran, Iraq, and Turkey. Not least of all, because their great ancestor had captured Delhi in 1398. It was because their ancestors has captured Delhi in 1398. They also celebrate their genealogy pictorially. How? As you can see in this picture, these are the different rulers of the Mughal dynasty from the different period of time, and how they were celebrating it. Each ruler getting a picture made of Timur and himself. As you can see here in this picture, in this miniature painting dated of Timur, his descendants and the Mughal emperors. Timur is in the center, so this person in the center is a Timur, and then all the people, all the rulers sitting besides him are the rulers of different times or of a different generation. So in this way, each and every ruler were painting out or drawing the pictures of their own picture sitting near the Timur. In this way, they were celebrating their genealogy with the help of a picture. Each ruler were getting a picture made of a Timur and himself, and it is shown very clearly in the figure 2, which is somewhat like a group photograph. It looks like a group photograph, but basically it is not a group photograph. The person who is sitting in the center is the Timur, and then all the rulers sitting after the Timur in two lines. These are the different rulers of the different generations in different time. They have made their pictures sitting near the in such a way that they are sitting near the Timur, and in this way they were celebrating their genealogy with the help of picture drawing in such a way. So in this way, these are all the things we have seen till now. In the next period, we are going to see the Mughal military campaigns. That means how the Mughals have captured the different parts of the subcontinent in different times. That we are going to understand in the next period with the help of this Mughal military campaigns. Till then, thank you very much.